Hey guys, I'm Kristen with ICStarsQuilting.com. You guys, something amazing is happening in my house right now. My husband and my son are off to a baseball game. My daughter has spent the day with my parents and they're on a road trip, day trip together. And I have the house to myself this evening. So, excuse like the appearance and stuff. I'm pretty much in my pajamas. I am going to be sewing for a while and I just had to show you what I'm working on because this is something that is very like spontaneous. I don't have a quilt right now that like needs to be made for a gift or anything, but I want to sew and I want to sew something easy and fun. I am absolutely taking advantage of this evening by myself here tonight and I'm so pleased. I have no idea how long I'm going to be able to sew or all of that, but I'm in it and we're going to go with it, okay? So this is what I'm starting out with. It is a layer cake, which layer cake is a term for a 10-inch pre-cut set of fabric. This is from Poppie cotton and it is an adorable one. This one is all packaged up and actually I prefer to leave my fabrics in the package so that they stay nice and pretty until I'm ready to use them. I have two of them. One of them has already been cut up. Let me show you the blocks that I have been making. So this is the very simple pattern, but what it's going to come out to is this gorgeous piece right here. Do you see how the colors all go together, how there is beauty and there's symmetry and everything is looking so pretty when it comes together? I'm in love with the way this quilt is coming together, okay? In my brain, it's like, it's amazing. And you're gonna be so excited when I tell you how easy this quilt is to put together. It starts with a layer cake, and then I made these cuts right here. I'm not gonna share a pattern because this is really quite simple, okay? And it really depends on how far you wanna take this. But what I did was I took my 10-inch pieces, my 10-inch squares, right? And I cut a 6-inch piece right here. I cut a 2-inch piece and a 2-inch piece. If you aren't really good with math, 6 plus 2 plus 2, 10, right? So that is my 10-inch pieces. Then I went through and I made sure that every square has one of these, and one of these. And when I say square, it's actually a rectangle because then I added these pieces right here, which are cut at 2.5 inch width right here. They're 2.5 inch by 10 inches, okay? So there's a full 10 inches here. So 2.5 by 10 inches for the sashing pieces right here. And that gives me this, okay? So I do one of these, and one of these, and I just mixed it up. There was no method to the madness in this one, okay? It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be easy. Yeah, here's a tip. The only thing that I might suggest is I chose a layer cake that has fabrics that are directional. Not all of the fabrics are directional, okay? Just some of them. Like this one right here that I haven't quite ironed yet, none of the fabrics are directional in this piece. However, these cute little like deer and bunnies and stuff, they actually do have direction to them. So in doing so, I had to make a couple adjustments as far as I know that when I go to put these together, if you look at the final quilt layout right there, I know that some of them have to have the bunnies like with the bottom on this side, and some of them have to have with the bunnies and the little gnomes and the foresty creatures and all that. Oh, chickens, and there's chickens in there too with the bunnies and all of that on the other side. So my best advice, find a layer cake that doesn't have directional fabrics. Other than that, this is so super easy to pull together, okay? And I know, we all love pre-cuts, okay? That's very clear. you know, I have a whole playlist on pre-cuts that I will link across the top of this screen here, and I will also link in the description box down below because I love pre-cuts, okay? If you're not really confident in matching your fabrics, if you're not really confident in like pulling together an entire quilt on your own, just go find some pre-cuts, find some patterns that work with pre-cut fabrics. We don't have to start with the entire whole wide quilt store anymore. You can start with pre-cuts. The pre-cuts are jelly rolls, they are layer cakes, they are charm squares, and there's even those little bitty tiny ones that are charm packs, and those are like 2.5 by 2.5. Layer cakes, are these ones that are the 10-inch ones, and that's what I used, okay? So once you start to sew all of these pieces together, they start to form a whole bunch of larger pieces. When I put all of those larger pieces together, this quilt top came together so nice, so easy. I am absolutely in love. And you know what? It just makes it so much better because obviously when I'm not filming, I have my music up. I am enjoying singing at the top of my lungs because why not? Nobody else is here, right? I am just... It's a good day, y'all. It's a good day. And I'm enjoying it. You know what? I know that a lot of you can't just whip something up out of nowhere. For instance, like the yardage that I used on the actual pieces in between. You could go get a jelly roll that is all in the same color. But at the end of this video, if you look down in the description box down below, I will kind of put together like a supply list for this quilt because it doesn't really need that much instruction to it, okay? Very simple. Make the cuts that I told you, add the sashing pieces in there, add the sashing pieces between the blocks, add the sashing pieces in the rows of the quilt, and there you have it. Your whole quilt is put together and it's beautiful. I hope that if you have these moments where nothing else is really pressing, like there's a million things that I can do in the house right now, but I can do all those things when somebody else is in the house right now. I'm gonna have some me time. And I have several other projects that are kind of in the works or semi-started, or I have fabrics that are reserved for certain projects that I want to work on. But another day, right? Another day. There's still gonna be another day that I can sew those together. Tonight I am working on finishing all of the pieces for this quilt right here that started with just a simple layer cake that I fell in love with last year at the quilt market, and I'm so happy that it's finally getting worked on today because I love the gorgeousness of these pieces. This is going to make a really nice big snuggle quilt for at least 2 people, okay? So it's probably going to be maybe not on the couch all the time quilt, but reserved for those special occasions when it gets nice and cozy weather outside. Yeah, I party pretty hard when it comes to having the house to myself for an evening, and yeah, cereal for dinner. I have my music going and I'm going to be sewing for a while, so I wish absolutely that for every single one of you that are watching this video because I am absolutely delighted with myself. And if I say absolutely one more time, you know it's a great day. So I hope that you have a great day too. I will talk to you soon. Let me know down in the comments what you're working on. If you have these days too where it's just fun and excitement and creativity is just pouring out of you, I would love to hear about it. I'll see you next week. I'm Kristen with ICStarsQuilting.com. Bye.